Does your ex secretly have regrets after your breakup? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life. And one common concern or question that a lot of people may have after a breakup is, does my ex actually have breakups about this decision? And to start things off, I just want to say that yeah, they probably do. For most people, breakups are a pretty big choice, a pretty big decision, especially if this is a, longer lasting or very significant relationship in some way. It's one thing if you were, just together for maybe a couple weeks or a month or something, but if this is a relationship that went on for years and years or decades, then this is probably a pretty significant choice in a person's life, in your ex's life. And when you make a big choice, whether it's something related to a relationship or maybe something else, like leaving a job that you've been at for a long time or moving to a new city or something like that, it is often very common for people to have questions like, did I make the right choice? Am I doing the right thing? What if I decide later on that this isn't the right thing for me? And so this is a pretty common experience. So it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if your ex was going through something like this. The second thing I wanted to bring up is the whole topic of the 5 stages of getting back together that we've talked about in many of the videos on this channel. In case you have no idea what I'm talking about, here's a video series up here on the 5 stages that your ex goes through in getting back together with you. However, what I want to let you know is that as your ex goes through these 5 stages, usually immediately after a breakup, your ex will find themselves in one of the stages called riding the dragon. That's not to say they're always going to be there, but generally speaking, after a breakup, your ex is going to just plop right down in riding the dragon. And then what you do after that, maybe begging or pleading or something, could push them further into reactance. Or if you're, really cool, easygoing and all that, you can even start to move them forward from there. But usually people start their journey at riding the dragon. When you look at these 5 stages of getting back together, you probably will be pretty quick to understand here that riding the dragon is characterized by a lot of hot and cold behavior, which is of course a reflection of confusion, of doubt, of uncertainty. That's to say that your ex isn't being hot and cold or giving you mixed messages to string you along or play mind games with you, most likely, but rather they're doing this because they're just genuinely confused. And when someone is genuinely confused, it's because they're constantly, changing their opinion or changing their mind about something from one moment to the next, from one day to the next. And so it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever as well too, if your ex may have, even if they thought about the breakup pretty significantly before they pulled the trigger, they might start to wonder, hey, did I do the right thing? Maybe if I just gave him one more shot, maybe if I was just a little bit more patient, maybe if I just hung in there just a little bit longer. No matter how long these problems may have persisted in your relationship, it wouldn't be uncommon for your ex to think these sorts of things. And so what we want to do now is to look at what you might want to do from here, because maybe your ex is having regrets about your breakup, and maybe you just want to know, okay, like, what do I do from here? So first of all, if you just wanted to know out of just pure curiosity, you have no intention of trying to save this relationship, you just want to, out of pure curiosity, looking back at some previous relationship, say, hey, does my ex regret it? Okay, there you go. If you actually do want to save your relationship, if you actually are interested in getting back together with your ex, what I'd really recommend that you do is to realize that there is this tug of war going on in both directions, like we just talked about. There's the side of them that says, hey, we broke up for a good reason. I think that I made the right choice. Yeah, it might be difficult, but I think I made the right choice. It had to be this way, whatever. And then there is the other side of the coin that says, hey, what if I just gave him a little bit more time? What if I was just a little bit more understanding? What if I was just a little bit more patient? What if I was just a little bit more this or that? Or what if I just waited a little bit longer? And so there's this tug of war going both ways. And if you look at it from that point of view, all you have to do is realize that you just need to nurture the part of them that actually wants to give the relationship with you another chance. You just have to nurture that part a little bit more deeply by actually developing the emotional connection that the two of you have. That's the whole core philosophy behind the X Solution program and all the stuff that we've been putting here on this channel for years and years now, over a decade now. And so we really want to make sure that we focus in on that emotional connection. That's why for so long I've been saying that the emotional connection is literally the most important thing that you should be focusing on in your relationship and in your connection with your ex. So if you just focus in on the emotional connection, you can often just ignore everything else along the way, including rebound relationships, including distance, including context versus content, including many of these other challenges that people focus in on. If you just focus in on nurturing that emotional connection, you'll be able to strengthen that side of the tug of war that says, hey, maybe we should give this another chance. And once that happens, once that side gets a lot stronger, then the other side that says, hey, I think we need to break up is going to get weaker, and it's going to eventually succumb to the pulling force of the side that says, hey, let's actually give this relationship another chance. And so, of course, I'd recommend the Ex-Solution program for that. Obviously, I have a bias in all of this as the creator of the Ex-Solution program, but it's something that I've been helping people with for years and years and years now. And we have lots of testimonials and success stories from people that have gone through this. But anyway, what do you think? Do you think that your ex has regrets about your decision to break up, or about their decision to break up with you, or maybe your decision to break up with them? Do you think your ex has regrets about all of these sorts of things? If so, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. If you want to know a little bit more about what your ex might be thinking during this whole breakup process, please feel free to check out this video playlist over here on what your ex is thinking. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.